Hey everyone, it's Libby from maighstirtarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Worimi First Nations people, that's WORIMI, and welcome to you, your guides, my guides, and the universal energies. I'm just looking at the glisten on me. Yes, it's a very warm day out there, but I haven't succumbed to the air conditioning yet. I've got the fans going. Okay, where on earth again on a Monday morning do I start as my notepad is absolutely chockers. First of all, the Catherine Megan thing that went on Friday, I've put a comment in my post section in regards to that. I am so totally not interested in the royal family, other than I'm quite appreciative of the fact that we are part of the Commonwealth, which means we don't end up with an orange twerp type situation at this stage. But I just want to remind people that we don't know these individuals. All I can do is talk about from what my guides tell me and what the cards have told me in the past. The only thing we know about them from a personal point of view is what is reported in the media. And you've got to remember that the firm likes to leak information, leak reports, leak gossip um, to the media to try and control the image of the royal family. And I'm just going to, no more comments, please. Okay, what else do I want to have a look at? Well, speaking of the royal family, apparently Andrew's ex, Sarah Ferguson, also known as Fergie, has taken off for the UAE. Absolutely not surprised, but my goodness, she's not the brightest, sharpest tool in the shed, is she? A female in those Middle Eastern countries where females really aren't respected, claiming that she's broke and she's going to write a tell-all book. Kind of hoping she doesn't end up getting Khashoggi'd, but there was the claims, apparently it was publicised that she was supposedly checked into a Swiss mental health rehab facility, but then she popped up in the UAE. So I think that's probably part of the usual Ferguson yeah, nightmare situation, or just she's, I mean, she's brought it on herself and find naivety, the sun card, but also fully exposed, fully revealed for her part in it. Uh, it's almost like and yeah, yeah, the death card. So hoping she doesn't end up at the bottom of a stairs or something. It's almost like constant PR for Fergie to try and rehabilitate her image right back from the 1990s financial advisor toe sucking incident through to um, being caught selling access to the royal family, etc., in the 2010s. Anyhow, I'm going to leave her there, leave her alone. What else has happened in Mexico? The cartel, apparently one of the most powerful cartel bosses, El Mencho, has been taken out by government troops. And of course, there's a lot of retaliation occurring there. So please, please, please keep safe if you're in that neck of the woods. What else has happened? Charles Kushner has been summoned by the French authorities and reprimanded for his comments in regards to an incident that happened a couple of days ago where a far right activist was unalived during a protest by a series of far left activists. These extremes are just are quite dangerous on both sides. But what did he say? He said in a post, the violent radical leftism is on the rise, and the role of the unaliving demonstrates the threat it poses for public safety, blah, 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 blah. So, the usual far right blaming rhetoric. The police have 7 people in custody, and he's been summoned to say, you know, get your nose out of it and be, nothing to do with you, be quiet. Okay, I might throw a couple of cards on that actually, because I get the feeling he's going to be ejected. So let's have a look. Charles Kushner. I mean, he was in jail and for crimes that he was convicted of, pardoned by the Orange Twerp and sent away as ambassador on a cushy role. Israel's ambassador, um, Mike Huckabee. Is it Mike Huckabee? Something along those lines. Sarah's dad. He's also come out and said Israel is justified for taking much of the Middle East on biblical grounds. Oh, so yes, he's been absolutely hit up on social media for that. Actually, this is okay. Thank you. They're telling me there's more to it than this, so let's have a look. Come on down. Charles Kushner. Right. He's playing a game. He's juggling his roles in a foreign country, but he's finding it ever increasingly difficult to I'm getting this is crazy as it sounds. This is to do with Musk's um, Fleon, the biggest parasite on the back of the US taxpayer. This is to do with Fleon's offices being raided, is what my guides are telling me. So he's juggling he's juggling the messaging here, trying to cast shade on the French. I know the French elections are next year, but this is pre-election stuff. This is he's juggling his role in regards to financial documents. Okay. We've got the Knight, the challenge is the Knight of Coins. This could be bringing forward of documents, because knights are messengers, like powerful messengers. They actually bring information, whereas pages notify of information in my book. It's also the mercenary as well. He's taken on a mercenary role here. Okay. The Five of Wands at the foundation. The energy he's stewing in is the infighting. Now, I actually want to have a look at that as to whether the felon is being set up to fail by his factions advisor. Interesting that Shady Vance came out with a very soft, talk about Vomitville interview, supposedly, with Lara Trump on Fox. He just spewed lies, and she pretty much agreed with all of them and doubled down. And then they trotted out Usha. Isn't Usha supposed to be 4 or 5 months pregnant in her skimpy little white dress? Well, it wasn't skimpy, but you know what I mean. It was fitting. Okay. So the energy at the base here. We've got this infighting that's going on. The argy-bargy, the attempt to the energy he's stewing in is the attempt to the taking sides with the factions that's happening. Oh gosh, the Tower card. The Tower. Something's already happened where the implosion has already begun. Now, also Musk in Georgia, apparently his little interference company sent out pre-filled absentee ballots to various voters. They still didn't win in Georgia. Violated Georgia law 212381 in 5 different districts. And what did they do? Sent him a strongly worded letter of reprimand. But I will have a further look into that. But yeah, the tower has started to collapse. The magician trying to manifest something new, but also the distraction. Look over here while this is happening over there. The illusion, the creation of something illusionary. Okay, Mike Huckabee. You've got the Strength card in the immediate future. I mean, he is chained to the Orange Twerp, trying to strengthen his standing. Okay, let's see where this goes. Externally, 3 of Wands, potentially looking for other options overseas. His ship not coming in. and internally the Fool, being played for the Fool. What have we got here? Hopes and fears, Empress, connections to Russia perhaps? Well, of course there are. And then he's getting out of Dodge too. Charles Kushner, the Emperor, and the inability to harvest. We've got here the Chariot, which is my military card, the Devil, and the Moon, the secrets being revealed, and nightmare situation. So Charles, and then the Ace of Wands, big stick moment. And we've then got investigation and the Ace of Pentacles into moneyed networks. And we've got legal action happening and the Judgment. Yeah, I think he's doing a bit of a distraction here. Four of Pentacles, desperately trying to hold on in the face of loss with the Five of Cups. Okay, Mike, Charles Kushner. He's are the French going to expel Charles Kushner? I think he's just going to leave on his own accord. Are the French going to expel Charles Kushner? What's Charles Kushner going to do? Okay, is Charles Kushner trying to... Is it to do with the faction infighting? His words, because Huckabee's come out and said something just as equally as ghastly in Israel. The New World Order. Ten of Wands, carrying water, but it's just too for out in the cold and under investigation. Yeah, he's worried. He's worried that the French are going to investigate him. There's money trails. He's on the back foot defensive, and the Hanged Man being sacrificed, and the Ten of Swords, and the Seven of Swords. We've got the Page of Swords, we've got the King of Swords, and we've got the Magician, and desperately trying to hang on to his money with the Four of Pentacles, or desperately trying to hang on to some form of control there. Yeah, he's actually, we've got Two of Swords and Two of Wands. He's trying to find an option. I don't know that he's going to be expelled. I get that he's going to be investigated. Okay, what about Huckabee? Is it Mike Huckabee? I think so, anyhow. The Huckabee one. God, he's a blooming criminal too, isn't he? Just think back to Iraq. Huckabee in Israel. What's he meaning? What's his intentions by saying Israel is justified for taking over much of the Middle East on biblical grounds? What's Mike Huckabee's game? Star, being the star? Look at me, look at me. Sun, finding himself exposed. What's Mike Huckabee's game? And also, out in the cold in regards to making the money. You've got here on the bottom the ending of the oligarchs, loss, getting out of Dodge. So Five of Cups, Six of Swords. They're coming up with some sort of partnership and agreement, but a lot of information coming out that he can't grasp hold of, and he too is being played for a fool. You've got the Ten of Pentacles, end of an era, end of a legacy. It's also oligarchs, but you've got Justice, King of Coins, Wheel of Fortune, turning, inability, well, the Chariot, inability to harvest with the Seven of Coins, and then the Six of Coins, money laundering, money changing hands, downfall with the Four of Swords, and then the abuse of power being exposed in the past with the five of swords and 6 of cups. Yeah, he's trying to, what a stupid thing to say, but he's trying to shore up options. What have we got? The Knight of Swords, harsh truth, and 3 of Cups circling the wagons. Why is he cheesed off those in the Middle East? I mean, it's the place to run to for these ones. What is going to happen to Mike Huckabee? Huckabee, the Israeli the world, end of an era, challenged by the Hierophant, the government, the higher authorities. Page of Cups. Oh, ICC. Page of Cups, unexpected information. He's gotten some unexpected information here. The energy he's stewing in the past, chained himself to the devil. Right, he's got some inside information. And he can see the ending is coming, and he is trying to ingratiate, is the word I'm getting, himself with the Israeli government. What an idiot. Queen of Coins, the energy that's above him, looking at his options, but the Knight of Coins, information coming forward about money, or it could simply be prepared to be the mercenary. You've got the Empress externally, money trails internally to Russia. On the back foot, defensive with the 7 of Wands. But again, he's got the sacrifice. And then the 9 of Cups, be careful what you wish for, because you'll be left holding the bundle with the 10 of Wands. You'll be left holding the, oh gosh, on the bottom, you've got inability to harvest, the Emperor, and then you've got Temperance. Inability to harvest, I think this is Netanyahu. And then you've got trying to spin it. I think he's trying to ingratiate, that's the word my guides are giving me, ingratiate himself with with Netanyahu for a safe haven. I don't think is what being said by these 2 ambassadors, Kushner and Huckabee, anything to do with an attack on Iran? Because we know Israel is busting to attack Persia. Persia's the part of the Middle East. So is this anything to do? Huckabee. Foreshadowing. Right. Betrayal, deceit, abuse of power, people walking away. And then you've got the Hierophant, challenged by the higher authorities. This could be the military, it could be the government, it could be the courts, it could be Congress. I think it is, because you've got this playing the game of the abuse, and he's already got what's he got? 3 swords in his possession. So it's worked in the past, because he was that part of that weapons of mass destruction carry on, wasn't he? With 9/11 that we read into the other day. Gosh, there's so much that's sus there. Just following up on that, the Pentagon apparently has just prior had a please explain as to about $2 trillion missing or something. It was a huge amount. And GOG, that aeroplane happened to hit the accounts department where all the records were kept in the computers, etc., that had the information about the accounts. And apparently there was another building in New York that um, went boom as well, that had records as well for Cantor Fitzgerald. Okay, so it's happened. It's worked in the past. Why can't it work again? I don't think it's going to this time. We got the energy he's stewing in at the moment is the holding the globe, the world in his hand, and looking, trying to decide which path to go. What plan, making plans in the past, because it's desperately trying to hold on to the status quo with the Four of Pentacles. But we've got treason here at the top. Three of Swords, trail, treason. The immediate future, he thinks he's playing to strength, but it's going to be a false victory with that Six of Wands externally. It's going to prove to be false internally, emotionally overwhelming. Ace of Cups, a cleansing, hopes and fears that information about money changing hands comes out. The outcome, Four of Swords. We've got Three of Swords, Four of Swords, Nine of Wands is guardrails holding. And then we've got the military coming in, something to do with the military and the Wheel of Fortune. A different stance here. And then we've got the King of Swords, and then we've got the Seven of Swords, the lies. Oh boy, and there he is again, being left to hold water at the end with the Ten of Wands. So these two diplomats, supposed diplomats, these two criminals are coming out and blabbing to try and shore up their positions in what they think is going to be the New World Order, but it's not gonna, what's happening is they're basing their assumption of the New World Order on what's happened in the past. Now, history often doesn't repeat, but it does rhyme, but I think we're in this completely different era now. Okay, now I want to have a look at, we have a different deck. I'm just going to use the Smith-Waite Tarot. So that was the Mystical Manga deck. Is the felon being set up to fail by the factions? Now, the reason I say that is apparently, allegedly, from what I've read, he could have put a 10% tariff on. Yeah, no problems. Legal, no issues. No issues. So what have we got on the bottom? The Five of Swords, and then we've got the Queen of Swords. A strategy here to sacrifice, betray, set up with the abuse of power, etc. He could have apparently put on a 10% tariff. No problems at all. Apparently that was entirely legal for the person to do. 15%, however, is not legal. Anything over 10% would have had to have gone through Congress, which it hasn't. So it's set up to fail. So I want to know, is he being set up to fail by his faction advisors? On top of that, apparently Wickoff, KOV at the end, has come out and said that the Orange Twerp is puzzled that Iran hasn't capitulated. Like, that's a bit of a rug pull there in that statement. He's also come out and said, what did he say about the hospital ship being sent to Greenland? Well, apparently both of the US hospital ships, the Mercy and the Comfort, are in dry dock in Alabama at the moment. So that's an absolute blatant lie as well. Apparently a US Marine on a submarine or something had to get airlifted to a Greenland hospital because of a medical reason. He's probably getting better care in a Greenland hospital than he ever would in a US one. So something's, so you've got the Emperor, which is the orange twerp in this situation, and we've got this Two of Swords, a crossroads moment. Combine that with Shady, and wasn't she supposed to be pregnant, Usha, in her fitting white? It was a loose dress, but she's supposed to be 4 or 5 months pregnant with a fourth child at 40. There's no way she's skinny mini with with a fourth child at 40. Goodness me, at 4 to 5 months pregnant. Uh, the female body don't hold on like that unless she was wearing a really, really, really tight girdle to push the poor little embryo up against her spine. Okay, but let's have a look. Is the felon, well, first of all, that's a yes. There's my aces. That's a yes. Is the felon being set up to fail by the faction advisors? Has he been set up to fail by the faction advisors? To be so pathetic, because then, of course, you had that shady interview. Let's have a look. Come on down. Right. Knight of Cups, the false friend coming forward with an offer. The Ace of Swords, yes, he is. The strategy to take out the crown. They're setting Shady up. Yep, lies, deceit, betrayal. At the bottom, Seven of Swords in the past, because his brain is not there anymore. Back up against the wall. Nine of Wands in the background. He can't. He is. Okay, let's see where this goes. The Moon, the lunacy, the secrets being revealed. He's become too toxic. You've got the Chariot moving him on, or this could be an ambulance heading off to the hospital. Notice he, after declaring that he was going to go to Italy. Oh, by the way, congratulations, US, in winning the ice hockey. He was claiming that he was going to go, and then, of course, he tacoed out, but I can't remember the excuse he gave, but I suspect it was probably more than anything, his health would not survive it. But the Chariot, nurturing his health, Queen of Pentacles, internally, the Empress, lazy, and the low vibration of the Empress is just doesn't have it anymore. He fell asleep in his inaugural board, BORED, obviously, of peace meeting. Yeah, there's the factions with the Five of Wands, the Ten of Cups, bringing an ending, and presenting Shady as the happy family. Looking at the options and an inability. Was he set up? They're looking at other options to bring a new star forward. You've got the King of Pentacles there, and then you've got betrayed. King of Pentacles is going to find himself betrayed on the bottom. We've got the Ace of Wands, Four of Swords, Tower, Hierophant, Devil, Fool, and the Five of Swords. Yeah, he's being between what he's been fed to say and the shady interview, he's been set up to be removed or taken out or something along those lines. So just watch for that. We'll see how it plays. Love to you all. Take care.